Hello, this is Javier Ortiz from Helping Kids. Have you thought, what are you going to tell your daughter or your son when they ask you, what are the drugs? What are drugs? Why are they bad for you? Now, when they are 5, 6, 7, they're gonna start listening to these words, and probably in schools they're gonna have already some education about it. And when they are 12, 13, 14, they're going to be exposed to that. And a lot of the parents that I talk to, we just not prepared for those difficult conversations. We're just not ready to have them. So what I want to do in this video, I want to take this topic, the topic about drugs, to explain to you how I did it, because it happened to me. It happened on a moment with my daughter. And in that moment I said, thank goodness I know about this, because I felt I kind of wing it a bit. But I felt it was a good job. And in fact, just this week I was talking to her, and she still remember, probably 5, 6 years later, she still remember that conversation. So that prompted me to share this video with you. So there's one thing I wanted to share with you before going any further. And obviously you can Google this information. It took me 5 minutes to get this information off the internet. But it's something that as parents, to be honest, I work with young people, I work with teenagers. I got 2 teenagers' daughters. And I didn't realize the numbers, and the numbers, when I looked them up, they were quite shocking. So these are the numbers that I looked up for you, and these are UK based. 25% of the UK pupils have taken drugs. However, when you make that, when you go into the 15 years old, that is 38%. And 20% of all the 15 years old kids are taking it regularly. That's quite shocking. There's another one that says 40% of the students, so almost half of the students, have been offered drugs in the last month. So, you know what? Your kid, if they are teenagers now or they are younger, your kid, when they get to that age, they're going to be exposed to that. So it is a conversation we need to have, and I do praise the schools. They're doing a fantastic job, but let's be honest, somehow it's just too late. My daughters, as I said, my daughters are teenagers, and when they tell me, we had another talk about drugs, yeah, drugs are bad, we know that, but the guy next to me has his locker full of weed. So it's happening, it's in their life, yeah? So you can wait for the school to do this, or you can take the opportunity and have this talk. And what I want to share with you is how I did it, and hopefully it gives you ideas on how you can do it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how it went, but at the end of the video, I'm going to deconstruct the strategy. What are the ingredients that I used in that conversation, so you can take those ingredients for any other difficult conversation. So before going any further, I want to introduce you to our lovely character. Now, for those on the podcast, I'm sorry you cannot watch him, but for those on the video, this is Robin, and he's a stuffed toy, a rabbit. This is my daughter's toy since she was born, and she has it, and she loves him. Just keep it in mind, because he's going to have a very important role in the story that I'm about to tell you. So let me put it into context. We were in the car, and you know, why on earth do all these conversations happen when you're in the middle of a traffic jam, or you are running to go into wherever? And now there's a very simple reason for that, which is they got your attention. You're not going anywhere. Yeah, so that happened to me. The way that it happened is quite fun, so I want to share it with you. We were on the Spotify, she was playing with music, and Elvis Presley came up. And she said, oh, Elvis. And I said, yeah, is he alive? I said, no, sorry, he passed away. I said, how did he die? And I'm not sure if this is the case, but I believe to be the case that I said, well, he died of taking drugs. And we left it there. And then the next song, it was Michael Jackson. And then she loved Michael Jackson, as most kids do. I said, oh, Michael Jackson, is he alive? And I said, no, sorry, he passed away. And she said, how did he die? And I said, well, he was taking drugs. And I could tell something just clicking in her mind. And just as Lux has it, the next song was Amy Winehouse. And she asked the same question. Amy Winehouse, who is singing this song, is Amy Winehouse, is she alive? No, sorry, she's dead from taking drugs. And then she just say like that, what are drugs? Why are they bad for you? Why are they killing people? So now I'm going to tell you what I did, how I explain it. And then, as I said, I'm going to deconstruct the strategy. So I said, okay, first of all, there's no point talking about drugs because they don't understand drugs, yeah? So I said, listen, imagine that what is the thing that you like the least? And she said, well, doing homeworks, of course. I said, okay, fine. So imagine that somebody comes to you and says, don't worry, I'm going to be doing your homeworks for you. And you don't have to tell anything and nobody will find out. And I said, how could you like that? And of course, he said, oh, that'd be great. Yes, I could do it. I said, fantastic. And so as you do that, and as that person takes the pain away from you and you just have the time to do it, over time, what is that might happen? I said, well, yeah, but that nothing. I mean, the teacher is not going to find out. I'm going to have more time. That's great. I said, okay, fine, so good, so far, so good. Now imagine that comes a point, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, a month later, and you got an exam or something, and then this person that was being so helpful says to you, oh, you have this exam and it's very important. I say, yeah, okay, but you're going to do it, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to do it. But in exchange, I want you to give me Robin. And in that moment, my daughter just went blank and said, no, of course not. I'm not gonna give somebody something that is so precious to me. And I said, yeah, but you know what? You don't have a choice. Either you do the exam and you totally flunk, or you give them something that you really like and love. And she was like, oh, okay. And that's the conversation that we had. So what I really wanted her to understand is that drugs are a very appealing proposition, let's be honest. It makes me evade, it makes me relax, it makes me happy, it makes me popular. It is about doing something much, much easier for me than I could normally do. Yeah, it could be perform better on a sports or whatever. It's doing something, but eventually it comes to ask for your Robin. It comes to ask for something that you will be at pain to part with, and then you have no choice. You really have no choice. And that was a key message. So it's not about what happens with drugs and how do you go about it. It's really about helping them understand in a way that they can understand in their own world what are the implications of doing something, what are the consequences of doing something. So once that she understood the long-term potential effect of drugs, I went back to square one. I said, okay, so now you understand what might happen probably will happen in the long run. Yes, you will have an easier time now, and you will probably enjoy it, and you will get something out of it. But eventually, somebody is going to come to make you pay for it. And the price is going to be a lot more painful than you are willing to pay. So your choice is now. Your choice is, do I go into it? Do I start into it knowing what's to come, or do I choose differently now? So as mentioned, I wanted to deconstruct the strategy of what I did in this conversation, so you understand the formula that I use, so you can use it for this conversation or others. First point is take the opportunity. Don't let it go. I mean, in my case, it was Elvis, Michael Jackson, Amy Winehouse, 3 dots mark line. When she asked, I just could not ignore it. I could not brush it under. I had to take the opportunity. It was there, and thank goodness we were in the car, we had the time, we could talk about it. Don't ignore it. Don't say, we'll talk later. Address it there and then. Stop what you have to do. That's the moment. It's the moment that is important for them. Second one is make a message that they can understand. Take it into their world. It doesn't get more real for a 6-7 years old kid than a stuffed toy, so I think. So make it relevant to them. Create an analogy and a story that it connects with them. when we talk about drugs and percentages and this and that and what it does, it's not real to them, it's too far-fetched. And let's be honest, we all think it's not going to happen to me, it's going to happen to somebody else. So go to the world, talk to them about what is important to them, and talk to them in their own words. Number 3, the third strategy, is really about presenting them with the choice. Now, it's about giving them the option to understand what are the opportunities, what are the choices, what is in there, and obviously the consequences of it. So what I hold really close to my heart, I'm a dad of 2 teenagers. And I know very well that when they are 12, 13, 14, 15, they're going to be exposed to a lot of things. They're going to go to a park, somebody's going to bring a bottle of alcohol or drugs or whatever. And they have to be able to make their own choices, their own decisions. I'm not going to be there to protect them. They have to be ready to make those choices. So with this process, what I want to allow them is to say, okay, from very early on, what are the choices, what are the consequences, and what is my personal choice? And this is critical for me as a parent, for me as a life coach. For me, it's absolutely critical that we give them a voice, we give them an option, a choice, and they can make up their own mind. When they make up their own mind, whatever they decide is going to be a lot more powerful than if they doing what you tell them to do. It's going to come from them, and that's going to be 10 times stronger than anything that they do for us. So again, just quick wrap up of the 4 strategies. 1, take the opportunity. When they come, just grab it. 2, when you're explaining something to them, make it relevant to their world. Go to the world, to what is important to them now. 3, allow them to understand the choices. What are the different opportunities, what are the different choices that they have in that given situation, and what is the consequences of each of those choices. And number 4, allow them to make up their own mind. What you will notice is once that they understand this, once that they understand the choices, you know what? Kids are clever enough, they understand, they can tell right from wrong, they're quite clever, they will make the right choices. We just have to kind of hold tight a bit and allow them to do that. And that's all I wanted to share with you today. I have to say I'm quite proud of myself and the conversation I had. I'm very proud that my daughter remember that conversation 5-6 years later, and I hope that this story, this approach, and the strategies that I gave you allow you to have a lot more of those conversations with your kids. Again, any comments, any thoughts, any ideas, any questions, please contact us. Facebook, internet, email, on the website, wherever you want. Leave comments underneath, and we will get back to you because we really want to help you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day. Bye.